Ayesha hates being married to NBA superstar Stephen Curry. Yo! You guys, video by Young Don Reacts. Listen, before we get into this video, please subscribe and subscribe to Don, man. Don is one of my favorite YouTubers. He is the inspiration behind this YouTube channel. If not for him, I probably wouldn't know what to be posting, so sub to Don. But if you don't live under a rock, you know everything that's going on with Stephen Curry and Ayesha Curry. Apparently, she didn't want to get married to him. She wasn't really feeling him. And everyone was just saying that this is a situation that happens when a woman marries a man that she thinks that, you know, she's better than. But anyways, you guys, let's get into the video. Let's see what Dawn has to say about this.
I think we've been getting this situation all wrong, bro. Because here's the thing, she can't articulate that. She can't articulate that Steph don't get her pussy wet, bro. She can't say that. And so she packages it differently. Oh, I want to feel wanted. I want to feel desired. This, that, and the third.
This is a crazy situation, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. The entire situation is just so crazy to me. I'll tell you guys my opinion as the video goes on.
Male attention. She's getting as close to saying what she really want to say as she can without just saying, I'm not attracted to my husband. My husband just does not do this shit for me. So Ayesha Curry is going viral again for a podcast she did about a month ago on the Call Her Daddy podcast. Essentially, if you're new to the Steph Curry, Ayesha Curry drama lore, Ayesha Curry every, few months likes to just remind the internet
that she hates her husband and she's not attracted to her husband, not one bit. And I will say, bro, it's crazy being Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry can get almost any woman he wants. Stephen Curry is tall, you know, depending on what the girl likes. He's light skinned, you know, he's not overweight, and he's an NBA legend, millionaire. It's crazy, and it just puts things into perspective for me sometimes. And it's like, bro, sometimes you can just never impress some women, bro. There's nothing you can do.
She is incredibly dissatisfied with her life as a wife and a mother to superstar NBA player Steph Curry. And I don't say that facetiously. She is. And I think she has every right to feel the way she feels.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
Pretty sad. Pretty embarrassing for Steph.
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married.
Wow.
I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Yeah, guys, listen. This is just a Jada Pinkett Smith
situation towards Stephen Curry. It's crazy to me, bro. Like, they're in their 30s, I'm in my 20s, you know. But the older I get, the more I realize that even just because someone is an adult, just because someone is grown, doesn't mean that they're okay up here. You know, like, people are still going to embarrass you. People are still going to do you dirty the older that you get. It's not about maturity. In my opinion, this is her doing her husband dirty. I don't care what anybody says. Because how can you come on, you know, the internet and say, yeah, what's it called? You didn't think you wanted a big family. You didn't want to get married. Damn. Like, this is grounds for divorce. And didn't Dell just divorce his wife or something? Sometime like 2 years ago? Crazy.
All over again. Although, even worse, because it sounds like she got married to Steph before Jada got married. She was younger when she got married to Steph than when Jada was married to Will. Here's what happened with Ayesha Curry. Ayesha Curry did what she was supposed to do, not what she wanted to do. She was seeking the validation and approval of probably her parents. On paper, Steph Curry seemed like the perfect guy for a girl like her to marry. He's tall, he's athletic, he's talented. His father was an NBA player, and so more than likely, he's going to inherit some good money. Good guy, clean cut, church boy. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy.
This is the staple, bro. This is the staple. I was out with a girl yesterday, and she said that she wants someone, that looks like she said Barack Obama when he was in his late 30s. So clean cuts, looking clean, looking nice, successful. And I feel like a lot of girls, would like that. But at the same time, a lot of girls wouldn't like that. A lot of girls want, the hood guy, the guy that's going to bring you drama and bring you a lot of stress and heartache. As cliche as it sounds, it's true.
That you're supposed to marry if you're dating this dude as a senior in high school, right? But in all reality, she was not getting the emotional stimulation that she would have wanted, and clearly still isn't wanted from a guy like Steph Curry. So let's keep it pushing.
I thought I was going to be career girl, and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like it's one of those things like you don't know what
Right.
you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to
I actually sympathize with this chick. It is very cringe, very sad, very embarrassing for a guy like Steph Curry. And if you're a fan of Steph Curry and but this is the thing. Women need more than you just paying the bills in 2025, man. In 1940, if you had a good, stable job and benefits and you could provide a house, women would gladly just settle for that. They don't care if you only fuck a missionary for the rest of your life, if you're as stiff as a board in the bedroom, if you're boring, if you just come home from work tired and sit in front of the TV and she just gives you a hot meal in the 1940s, bro, that for a woman was enough. Okay? Now in 2025, it's not. But the thing is,
Things have really changed, I find that back in the day, the only thing that guys had to worry about is making money. But now you have to worry about making money and being attractive. So now, like, guys in 2025, it's now like, how do I put it? You kind of have to, like, be the girl's type physically as well. If you're not the girl's type physically, it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Some girls value different things. Some girls value money and status, and that's all they see. They just see the money and the status, and you're a 10 out of 10. Some girls value looks, and they don't mind having the money and being the providers. I'm telling you that that's how it is sometimes. But some girls, and I find that the wide majority, they want both. They want you to be attractive and they want you to have money. In my personal opinion, I think that it's best to, date someone that is your type. Like that's what this thing comes down to. Being with someone that's your type and being with someone that can provide. Me personally, if like a girl that I'm talking to tells me that I'm not her type, it's done. It's wrapped, and I move on to the next girl because there's no way in hell I'm going to deal with someone that looks at me and they're like, he's meh. But someone out there is going to look at me and be like, he's a 10 out of 10. In Stephen Curry's situation, if he ends up divorcing his wife because of this entire thing, it's not going to be hard for him to find another woman, maybe even a more beautiful woman, to do life with. You feel me?
been in a time period where we're transitioning. Women have more options than ever before. They are more free than ever before to indulge in the things that they want to do in the bedroom, outside the bedroom. Society has never been more tolerant of people just wanting to do what they want to do. But culture is still in a place where the respectable side of society says that the right thing to do, however, across the board, get married, have kids, be the loving wife, and if you have a good husband, be grateful for that, right? And so that's what she did. I'm sure Ayesha, if she went to her mother when around the time Steph was getting close to proposing, if she expressed any of this to her mother would have told her she's crazy. Like, girl, you better get your shit together.
No, real, because it's fucking Stephen Curry, bro. But also, I don't know when they got married. I don't know if he was in the NBA when they got married. But then, like, even before he started, coming up on all the success and everything, he still came from a very, very, very good home. NBA player as your dad. What? Insane.
And is going to be a star. He's going to the NBA. He loves you. He adores you. Oh my God. And he's such a good guy. Ayesha. How? Shame on you. I'm sure, bro. I am sure that's what she would have heard. And so she did what she was supposed to do. But now here she finds herself frustrated. You know, I actually think the reason we're getting all of this is because Ayesha is a decent person. What do I mean by that? A different woman would just be cheating.
Straight to be honest, he's not wrong. Don is not wrong here. And this is why I love watching Don, bro. Don will give you, perspectives from two different points of views. To be honest, she can cheat. She can, and it could be a whole scandal. At the same time, like, she did say something about not getting any male attention and blah blah blah. And to be honest, that's Stephen Curry, bro. Stephen Curry has respect from the mandem, from the masses, Fucking Stephen Curry's wife, is like, whoa. Stephen Curry is sorry. You're cheating on Stephen Curry with this guy, and the thing about most women is women never want to date down, Not say lots of guys are above Stephen Curry.
Just be cheating. I think Ayesha probably has been faithful to Steph. And so that frustration isn't being released anywhere. And so it's coming out in the form of her vocalizing it. And we're going to get to Steph in a second, right? Because look, obviously I sympathize with the sentiment that it is horrible to see a guy of Steph's personality, class, charisma, talent, whatever. He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
At least he's been in the public eye, right?
Yeah.
It's a shame to see him have to endure this. But Steph is not innocent in this. Remember, we all get what we're energetically aligned with. We all reap what we sow. God never gives us more than we can bear. And so Steph brought this upon himself. And I'm going to talk about how he did that a little bit later, but just stay with me here. So Ayesha did what I'm sure she felt like she was supposed to do when she was young. How old was she when she got married? However old she was, I'm sure she didn't have any sense, bro. Yeah, she was only 22 years old.
Yeah, she was 22 years old when she got married. Oh my goodness. 22 years old when she got married. That is young.
Got married, bro. She ain't got no sense. She don't know nothing about none at 22 years old. Especially probably growing up in a sheltered environment. That seems like the kind of chick she is. She grew up middle class, upper middle class, maybe even upper class. I don't know. And so she's been married for 13 years now. And as far as I can see, she's been faithful. There's no evidence that she's ever cheated on Steph. She's been doing the mother thing. But she still feels unfulfilled sexually, emotionally. But now, again, she finds herself in a situation where she is trying to do what she's supposed to do, which is not leave Steph. Look at how the commentary...
You know what's crazy? If I'm being real, I feel like, and this is going to sound so bad, I feel like everyone goes through like phases. You feel me? As much as everyone is like, yes, don't be promiscuous, don't date around, don't do this, don't do that. 22-year-old Ayesha Curry, compared to the average 22-year-old that lives in my city. The average 22-year-old in my city is, getting attention from different guys. They're traveling, going to the club, spending time with their girls, getting attention from different men every single day. At 22 years old, getting married, it's like, wow, I'm getting married to an NBA player. Some girls might look at you and get jealous, whatever. But then a lot of girls, how do I put this? A lot of girls want to experience being desired, bro. In fact, fuck it. A lot of guys want to experience being desired. Everybody loves attention. That is normal. So clearly, she's in a situation where it's like, I can't get the attention because of who I'm married to. I'm married to one of the most stand-up guys on the planet, one of the most successful men on the planet right now. And people respect him. Men respect him. So men are not going to try and hit on me, Ayesha Curry. And that bothers her. I get where she's coming from.
Is getting on her, right? And for good reason. It is embarrassing. It is shameful. It is not good. It's not cool to see a woman embarrass her husband like that. It don't even matter if he's Steph. It could be any man. That's just shitty behavior from a wife. If I ever had my wife get on a platform and say the kind of shit that Ayesha says, I would be utterly disgusted and I would leave her. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Not even out of disrespect or feeling hurt, but because it's so obvious she's not fulfilled in a romantic sense. And why would I, as a man, want to continue to be with a woman who feels romantically unfulfilled in the relationship? I would rather her go off and find somebody else that can satisfy her.
Exactly. Like, if you don't want to be with me, please, please, please leave me. You can't. It's going to hurt, 100%. But then leave me and go and find whoever it is that you think will make you happy, and let me find someone else that will make me happy.
And I will go and find somebody else who is happier with me, which will then obviously satisfy me even more. Especially if I was a guy like Steph Curry, who is so rich, famous, and successful. Steph Curry has more money than he knows what to do with it. Yeah, cut her the check. Give her her 50%. Big fucking deal. You're gonna make like another $100 million this year. Who cares? Like, you have more than enough money to be happy. But in a way, Ayesha is no different than the Asian dude who became a doctor because that's what he was supposed to do, or the Nigerian who became a doctor or a lawyer
because that was what he was supposed to do. Literally, real talk.
That's what he was supposed to do, even though that nigga wanted to play the fucking electric guitar. And so here she is again. If she were to leave Steph, the internet's gonna talk about how she's a bad mother, how she don't care about her family, how she's just this lustful, ungrateful person, when in all reality, the thing that she desires, she is allowed to desire it. So for the past 10 years, the divorce rate has been falling pretty significantly. And the people who study this kind of stuff, they are saying the number one reason why the divorce rate is falling is because people are getting married later. In the past, marriage was held together by necessity and cultural shame. And so even if two people got married very young and started a family and then grew to dislike each other or not be very into each other, they would just stay married because of necessity and the shame that was associated with divorce. But
that's true. That's true. When I look at even with my parents and everything, when I look at my parents and their marriage, I will say, my mom, could have left. My mom could have left. She could have left. Was my mom happy in her marriage? No, no. Sure, my dad on paper, lawyer. My dad was a lawyer. My dad made good money, in his lifetime. He took care of his kids. But then, was my mom happy? I don't think my mom was happy. And now that my dad has passed away, rest in peace to my dad, my mom voices, she says it. She says she wishes that, she not took life more seriously, but yeah, took life more seriously. Like, my mom says that she wishes that, she was more like, how do I put this? Businesswoman, more like driven, like career. My mom wishes that she was a career woman sometimes, Yeah.
we are in modern times still encouraging people to get married young, to get married, period, when that is not something that anyone has to do or needs to do. If you want to do it, of course, do it. if you feel like you found the right person, but it's not something you should feel ashamed of if you don't ever do. But we're still encouraging young people to do this, as I'm sure Ayesha was encouraged to do. But now Ayesha wants to get out of her marriage and have a relationship where she's much more fulfilled. But she is afraid of disappointing people. She's afraid of the backlash that she's going to get. All the people are going to call her a terrible person and a terrible mother for walking away from what seems like an amazing guy.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals and I was never the little girl that like dreamt about.
Sorry, what did I say? My bad, guys. A woman would only get married when she doesn't want to be married because she feels like she has to out of fear slash perceived expectations. It's true. Because if a guy like Stephen Curry is hitting on you, bruh, and you know a lot of girls are going to fold, like, of course you're going to be like, well, it is Stephen Curry. Yeah. Yeah. Tough situation, man.
Eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like, it's one of those.
22 is early, bro. 22 is very, very early. When I think about what I was doing at 22 and what like my mates were doing at 22, bruh, marriage was not even in the picture for a lot of people. It still isn't, and I'm 25.
You don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So if it comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. Like he tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something and then it kind of just disappeared and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1,
a lot of girls would be happy to be in Ayesha's situation, though. Let's also just be for real. A lot of women want a very successful man. Like I said, I was hanging out with a girl yesterday, and I told her that it is extremely rare for a woman to end up with a guy that is attractive and rich. More times than not, it's either because how do I put this, bro? What you focus on is what you get. You feel me? If you focus on looking good as a guy, you're going to look good. But your money might dwindle. If you focus on being successful as a guy, you will become successful. But more times than not, you are not going to be the most attractive guy because you are very, very locked in. I'm going to use myself as an example. Right now, I want to, grow my YouTube channel. And at the same time, I still want to look good. I want to be in the gym. It takes a lot to, work a job, do my YouTube, run a business, and still make time for the gym. It takes a lot. And I still try and find a way to make it happen. Not every guy is going to do that. Because it's hard. And rightfully so, it's understandable. So when you see a woman, talking like this about big Stephen Curry that has the full package, it's like, it doesn't make any sense.
I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
if I have a career and I'm
Yeah.
not home, like did you experience that?
I still experience
Okay.
that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
So I think it's completely valid for people to be grossed out by this behavior by Ayesha, right? Because again, it's like you're airing out dirty laundry. This is just not the kind of thing you do. It's gross. It's gross. That said, I don't believe Steph Curry is any different from Will Smith. Steph Curry, he married somebody who was not that into him. Now, again, not to demonize Steph either, because Steph clearly he had no game, he had no understanding of women. He couldn't see that Ayesha was just doing what she thought she was supposed to do. That's all that happened. I am 1,000% sure that early on in their relationship, yeah, I'm sure she was more into it than she is today. Why? Because it was newer. She was also younger. She
Yeah.
hadn't seen much of the world.
Exactly, and you're like, bro, that's a millionaire that you're with, you know.
Her mind was still developing and expanding. She was still learning about herself. I am 1,000% sure that by the time he proposed to her, all the signs were there. All the signs were there where I would have been able to look at the relationship and be like, this shit is fucked up. She not into this guy. I mean, I even see it to this day, bro. People that I know, not anyone I'm super close to, but within recent history, I've been around a person who is dating a chick, and it's so clear the chick is not that into him. She does little subtle things where she's teasing him, and you know what I'm saying? Like she's making fun of him. Oh, he's always like this, then. You know what I'm saying? Like little disrespect.
Just things like that, you know. Things like that. Like you can clock it. You can clock it. Like anytime when a girl doesn't like her boyfriend, I can tell, bro. I can tell they do very very interesting things. Oh my god, I have a lot of stories. You guys, I just got back from work, and I'm so happy that like, you know why I like YouTube? The people that I know in real life are not going to watch my videos, so I can just I can talk to you guys. There's this one girl that she saw me at the grocery store today, you know, but a while ago she slid into my DMs and she was like, "Oh hey Dario, how are you? We should go out." She was like, "We should go and grab bubble tea sometime. Like we should go out for food or something." And I was not like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Like just let me know when." And then she just said something along the lines of um yeah, like when her boyfriend goes out of town, we can hang out, just things like that. And she's like, yeah, she wants to do this as friends, but then in my mind I'm like, and like I was straying away. Even today, she that same girl saw me at the grocery store, and she was like, "Oh, Dayo, you're a bad friend. Like you haven't like when are you going to teach me how to cook? I'm very very good at cooking, by the way." She's like, "When are you going to teach me how to cook? Like we should hang out sometime so that you can teach me how to cook." Girls would use things like that to put themselves in that situation, you know. So in my mind, she's saying this, and I'm like, yo, you must hate your boyfriend. Like, not hate your boyfriend, but like chances are you're not that attracted to your boyfriend if you want to hang out with me. You feel me?
Shit. It's not super overt, but it's just not the kind of shit that a chick that's really into a dude, that's not how she talks to him. But because they're dating and bro's still hitting and all of that shit, he thinks that she is into him. But I already know that if a better option came along, she would go, bro. She would go. She gone. And I know that if I were to try and open this dude's eyes to this shit, the only thing that would do is offend him. It's just like the Travis Hunter situation. You feel me? And so it's just a tragedy, man. Ayesha did what she thought she was supposed to do, and Steph did what he did because he didn't know no better.
I'm so happy that like I'm 25 and I'm not blind to it. Like I pick up on signals very, very easily. Like I'm happy that like when it comes to these whole relationship stuff and things like that, I'm happy that like I can tell, you know?
Tragedy all around. Instead of going on this media campaign to voice her frustration in her marriage and all of that and sitting and venting like this, she should just leave Steph, bro. I think that's what she should have done, and that's what she should still do. She should just leave Steph, take the name calling, take all of that, and go off and just live your life and be happy and go and have what you want now that you're an older woman and you know what I'm saying, you know yourself and you know what you want. You should go and get that, because you only have one life to live, and all these people talking shit about you, they're not going to be at your funeral. You couldn't hit a single one of them up to lend you $1,000 or $100 even. Fuck them. Fuck what anybody thinks.
Real talk, real talk.
Doing this goofy shit, just leave this nigga and go find what you want. Yeah, bro, we are not living in the 1940s anymore. Ayesha Curry, she is still young. You feel me? She's 36. Yeah, she's past the wall, but the wall is at different places for different people.
Yeah, Aisha Curry is fine, bro. You know, like Aisha Curry is a good looking black woman.
Curry, you know what I'm saying? She could still definitely find a man that can do it for her. Is he going to be as successful as Steph Curry? Probably not.
Oh, definitely not. Don't say probably, definitely not as successful as Stephen Curry. Impossible. 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 But can she find a guy that'll do it for her? Yeah. You know, success is very like relative. You don't need to have $100 million to be successful. You don't, you know, and that's the truth of, you don't need all that money, you know, as long as you know you're financially stable, you're living in a good place, you can afford food, afford transportation, and you have a decent savings, money for retirement, you're good. These are millionaires that we're talking about. They're good.
But at this stage, is that what you're really looking for? People are saying, oh, she just want to be a hoe and just throw that, you know what I'm saying, throw that box around to. I think she just want a dude who really stimulates her. I think we've been getting this situation all wrong, bro. Because here's the thing, she can't articulate that. She can't articulate that Steph don't get her pussy wet, bro. She can't say that. And so she packages it differently. Oh, I want to feel wanted. I want to feel desired. This, that, and the third. I want male attention. She's getting as close to saying what she really want to say as she can without just saying, I'm not attracted to my husband. My husband just does not do this shit for me. But even her, who has literal diarrhea mouth, can't keep her mouth closed, has to just spit out everything that she's thinking and feeling. Even her knows that she can't say that would be going way too far. If she wants the marriage to continue and to be healthy and not to completely embarrass Steph Curry and obliterate his ego. Would it have been ideal for them to be able to stay together and live the perfect married life and grow old together? Yes, it would have been a nice, sweet Hallmark movie. But that ain't how life goes, bro. Shit don't always go according to plan. Shit doesn't always go in the most ideal fashion. And I'm just, I got 2 daughters, bro. I would never tell my daughters to stay in a relationship that they're unhappy in. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the therapy. She's been with this nigga for 13 years. She says she's all constantly in therapy. It's not like she's not trying. It's not like she hasn't tried. And so if my daughter came to me and was like, Dad, I've been going to therapy, this, that, and the third, but this nigga's just lame. Now she would never marry a lame nigga though, because I'm not going to pressure her to fall into some kind of like cultural expectation, like you got to get married at this age and start having kids by this age, and you got to marry this kind of guy, and da-da. My kids are all going to be fucking on point, bro. But let's say hypothetically, in a situation that she ended up marrying a guy because she thought this was a good guy to marry, bro, I would tell her, fuck them niggas, fuck what anybody think, fuck them. I think there's a responsible way they can separate and still have healthy relationships with each other in a civil capacity, raise their children, still go to the games together, have family reunions and all of that, but they're just respecting the fact that romantically things just aren't clicking anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we can all just stop pretending that a two-parent household is a fail-safe for raising good, healthy children. Let's not forget the dude that packed up Charlie Kirk recently came from a traditional conservative two-parent household. My parents got divorced and my life is going great. You feel me? And Ayesha and Steph could provide their children with a far better experience than I received as a child because my parents didn't have money like Steph and Ayesha. There's so many, and they didn't have the kind of freedoms to with their time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could still be great parents and raise good, healthy, well-adjusted children. But yeah, man, that might be a little controversial, but that's my take on this situation.
And you guys, my take is very similar to Dawn's, and like like I said, I love watching Dawn because Dawn gives, I love his perspectives. I love how he breaks things down. Listen, bro, or if any woman is watching, I don't get a lot of women watching my videos. If someone is not your type, don't be with them. If you feel like you're not happy in a relationship, it's always best to leave as soon as possible. Because now in this situation, they have kids, they're married and yada, 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 yada. It's a bit more, complicated to leave. Take your time, know yourself and figure out if that relationship is the best relationship for you. Peace out.